Ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin with our next session, Bridging the Skills Gap, Addressing the Talent Crunch in the AV Industry.
Good afternoon, everybody. Post-lunch, I see very few people being very active, and thank you so much for being present over here for this discussion. As we have understood about our esteemed panel members, with all due respect, the topic of discussion is very, very crucial for everybody, whether it is an OEM, a manufacturer, or an consultant, or a systems integration company, or a distributor. Overall industry is impacted with the talent crunch, and this has been experienced at all levels. So, to begin this discussion, a common question, one of the rising concerns as to what do we think are the primary causes of the talent crunch in the AV industry? So to begin with, I will start off with Mr. Dhuria. So since Sanjay ji has been at the helm of the affairs at VDSPL, so what do you think, Sanjay ji, is the primary cause of the talent crunch in the AV industry as of today?
Hello. Yeah, thanks Mustafa, and thanks AVICN team for inviting me here. See, the critical thing why we are, in my opinion, where we have reached today is that the industry as such has grown in leaps and bounds, and correspondingly the relative investment into the manpower development, or if we look at the overall environment, whether it's technical or whether it's product related, that investment into the growing manpower to help us reach that level, that has not happened. As an industry itself, I believe we are still waking up to the harsh realities that we are in a major soup as far as the availability of the qualified quality manpower is concerned. Because we still don't have that kind of a available infrastructures or that kind of a, today if you want to learn anything in IT, there would be hundreds of different options. You can go to different of institutes, you can go to colleges, you can go to diploma courses, you can do degree courses, you can do very short term 2-month, 3-month course. Now, when we look at AV, do we have any of such infra where, one can go and learn something? Those opportunities are very, very limited, very restrictive. So that's an area probably where we ourselves, I believe, as an industry are to be blamed.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. Coming from a distribution background, and definitely, as you rightly mentioned, that this skill set is required at all levels, and you are facing this crunch definitely because you would be handling lot of products, and each product you may want to have a kind of a champion or a technology expert for that thing. So moving on from Sanjay ji, I am taking another distributor, Nirdosh ji, to answer this. Nirdosh ji, coming again from a distribution background, what do you think, maybe 2 or 3 of the major primary causes of the talent crunch in the industry?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, AVICN, to invite me for this panel discussion. I think I totally agree with Sanjay ji, what he has mentioned as a distributor, that we all are facing this talent crunch challenge in our industry. Primarily, I always feel that the reason is that this industry over last so many years, it was not yet recognized on that level where it should have been. If this industry, we don't have the institutes, we don't have any government colleges, we don't have anything where probably AV is taught. So once the youth of India gets used to it, that they can use and they can choose this as their career, then only probably we'll have the right candidate wherein this problem can be resolved. The industry is growing in multiple leaps and bounces, and definitely when projects are there, we need the right kind of manpower to execute them. India is growing, and I think we all are fortunate that we all are doing good business, great business, whether we talk about distributors, whether we talk about manufacturers. But this talent crunch challenge needs to be sorted among ourselves. We need to build up some kind of a platform also, wherein the youth of India gets that kind of enthusiasm in them that they have to be a part of this industry. So I think probably we all need to bring in something together as a solution. We need to talk to certain agencies or something needs to be pulled out, which probably can help.
So we understand that we need to have certain courses which are registered or recognized by the institutes or by the universities, which says that yes, you are an AV expert.
Absolutely.
So yes, one wonderful suggestion. So coming from this discussion, I take it up to Abdul. I have been connected with Abdul since so many years, being very good friends with him. I understand as an consultant, he is the person who would require, very highly trained and technical resources. So Abdul, how do you see this talent crunch, and what are the causes which you feel are there because we have this crunch now?
Of course, thank you very much for inviting me and giving me this platform to discuss this important topic, important subject. So what I believe is this subject of talent crunch is not only related to AV. If you go and study market, or if you study the things, other field and other aspects, this scenario is a global question that we are not getting the right people. Actually, on one hand, in India, we talk about a lot of unemployment, but at the same time, if you go through the LinkedIn profiles of all of here sitting, you will find like the advertisement that they are looking for talent. So there is some gap in between. And coming back to our industry, yes, of course, as Mr. Nirdosh and Mr. Dhuria has highlighted, in our industry, we don't have a formal education in colleges, universities. Of course, we have IT engineers, we have electronic engineers, we have instrumentation. So all those people tend to work and go in an industry which is like kind of coding, and which is, of course, there are a lot of challenges for them with AI coming in. So the coding, programming, those things are going on. But still, there is huge gap of what Gen Z or Alpha and those next generations coming up, their needs versus the Gen X or earlier generations. There is a huge gap between the understanding of both of them. This is general, and particular to AV, we don't have formal education in our industry. Like, there is no AV subject being taught. AV, of course, is evolved between these segments, computers and electronics. Of course, our equipments are electronics, our protocols are IT, but when we do installation, we talk about audio, which is physics. So we don't have a formal education subject or course in the industry. So we have to work towards this, talking to the universities and colleges. I know some of the AV partners who are already doing it also. So that is one. Meanwhile, there is a patchwork. We can conduct some 3 days, 2 days courses for our new generation, the college pass outs, the freshers. But of course, that is being taken up by some manufacturers, and mostly it is related to the products, their products. So that is also like, there are pros and cons, people getting trained by those courses. So as a consultant, when we go, like, of course, we have to be expert of the subject, and we need more knowledge than a manufacturer has about his product. So those kind of challenges are there with us. And of course, during this time and this, everyone is facing this kind of challenge. We are trying to get freshers and training them, and that is huge cost involved. And once they are trained and they attain some level, then they are being poached by somebody else. So that challenge is there.
Abdul, this is absolutely correct when we say that we need to name this industry as one of the career options. And consultants like you, Rhythm, I'm sure a lot of expectations from the consultant side that being a consultant, आप जैसे customers को consult करते हैं, वैसे you need to get some fresh air into the industry time and again. Yes, people may treat you like a manufacturing unit where you come and they become a finished product and they'll go out in the industry. But nevertheless, there is something which you have to give it back to the industry. So continuing this with Rhythm, you have been handling one of the best known projects in the country. I'm sure with that kind of projects where you win them and you execute them so flawlessly, the kind of repute you hold in the industry, talent crunch is something which must be always on top of your mind. So some inputs from your side on that.
So honestly, now I think we have kind of reached a stage that we are a little bit above talent crunch. Of course, there's a lot of talent crunch in the market. There's no denying to that. But then we started realizing a solution that I think 80 to 90% of our project workflow does not need a AV trained manpower. So if you really see, most of what everybody does is, let's say if you do a large audio project, 70-80% work is physical. So, wherein it's rigging, it's wiring and everything else. So we've been able to upskill electricians. We've been able to get people from other industries which are not so cool, like CCTV, access control and other stuff where the pay is very low. I mean, AV industry pays much higher money than everybody else. And we've been kind of, able to get that kind of talent sorted. But then, yes, of course, there is, a huge vacuum of talent in design, a huge vacuum of talent in engineering and other stuff. People don't even know that this industry and these opportunities exist. That's the first part. Like, they would choose a much low-paying career, not even knowing this AV industry. I believe everyone who is in the industry just happens to be here. Nobody thought of coming into AV industry. Galti se, some accident, somebody knows somebody, through somebody, they realized and then they're like, oh, chalo, let's, fine, let me make a home in AV industry. So that's a straight.
Absolutely, I was an accidental entry into AV way back in 2004. Coming from a core IT background, I had sold some NEC projectors somewhere in the world. And that took my passion that, okay, NEC makes those 3-gun projectors and we used to take it on a trolley and do the demonstration. And from IT selling a projector and getting into an AV, and here, almost 24 years core into AV now. So absolutely, we during that time had not thought so much about money. We were more passionate about what we want to do, which is not there in this generation. Now, my friend Ashish, sir, he has been at that level, at that kind of a company where so many brands, every brand needs so many people, every region needs so many people in each particular brand. So this is absolutely, connected to you. How do you see, HARMAN taking these challenges of talent crunch?
So I think few of you mentioned here, one, all of us are in the industry because of an accident, right? Nobody really wanted. The relevance of AV industry is nowhere in any conversation, right? I mean, if anybody wants to pick a job that they want to pick, AV will never be the choice that you will even think of or will show up in any drop-down menu of your selection.
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest problem. I think it is up to all of us. And all of us are there because of the passion, as you said. I think we all love the AV industry and that's why we are here. People who do not love the AV industry, they leave in 2 years and they get into an IT or a CCTV or whatever, right? Infra and other projects. So I think for us, while hiring a fresher or nurturing the younger talent and then losing them to somebody else is a concern. But there is no harm in doing that because that will eventually help us solve this crunch for the industry. I mean, there are people who have left HARMAN, I would say. I mean, I've been here for 15 years now, but people have left, have joined back. People who want to come back and work in the same industry, stay in the same industry. So for us, as you said, what are we doing? I think for us as OEMs, investment in the market, investment into people. I mean, there was a time when we actually hired a lot of freshers from the management school, engineering colleges. We invested a lot of time and effort on them in terms of educating them, trying to create they feel passionate about this AV industry. And almost 80% of them are still in the industry, 20 have left and gone into some other businesses. But the other 80 who have left are actually doing very well. It's unfortunate that 50% of them are not in HARMAN today. But we are very proud of that the other 50% who have left are at very decent and are larger positions and roles. So I think as an OEM, I think we see this as a benefit to us that we are taking the initiative of educating, training, putting an effort. I mean, today also when we conduct a training session, I think our pitch is that if you do not have a person, it's fine. You hire a fresher, you send it to us. We'll run a week-long class and we'll teach them maybe on audio basic, maybe on video basic, so that they can at least understand the same language. So I think from our side, it has to be the selfless, or we shouldn't be selfish, but selfless like kind of effort to invest in the market, because really nobody sees AV as the choice unless and until you really love something and you want to. And then somebody comes in, like when I started my job, I think suddenly loved, okay, music is a good thing. I was a mechanical engineer, got into AV just because I could do engineering drawing, do some 3D modeling, which eventually went into audio simulation. And then I loved the AV field and then always kind of remained there. I can't think of if I want to leave job today also, that I can go and do any other business or get into any other job. So I think it's all about passion and how we created passion. I think Abdul didn't mention that. So we do that activity, kind of go to any colleges, conduct AV sessions. It's very unfortunate that in India, there is no set curriculum which is around AV. I mean, there is a school in Chennai, a lot of people in the touring industry kind of go and attend the diploma courses there. But the talent that we can build, I mean, we have a lot of associations who kind of run a lot of training classes, education classes, courses, certifications. I think the acceptance of that, the relevance needs to be developed more, because if that relevance is not made, I mean, we'll always have this challenge.
To sum it up, what again pointers which you raised are connected, that we need a kind of a degree or a diploma which specializes into AV and attracts the newer generation, the freshers, where we say that engineering pass out sees AV as a parallel option to IT. Abhi sab merge ho raha hai. Everybody is like, IT and AV is there. It should be other way around. It should be AV plus IT and not just the IT. Again, the same question connected with the answer and the topic to you, Ashish, is like, on a broader perspective, as you rightly mentioned, that HARMAN is taking care of this as a responsibility, giving back to the society and the industry, that yes, you train people and people go out and do well. But if you see overall, like, there will be very few companies like yours who would be investing in the manpower resources without being, a selfless attitude that, okay, they may stay with you for 4 years or 2 years or 5 years and they may leave and go. But nevertheless, you have to do this because this is an exercise which has to be done frequently. From the understanding overall, where I also, keep seeing it in the industry, what kind of damage do you think the growth of AV will have because of this talent crunch? Or how do you see, like, if we see that the AV has to grow 50% every year in India, with the talent crunch, in effect right now and everybody is facing it, do you feel that 50% or whatever is the X percentage growth which we are looking at for AV, will that be an impact?
See, again, two ways to look at it. I think growth of the industry is based on several things, right? I think if you talk about revenue only, you still do jobs. Are those jobs done the way they should be done? The quality of work, that's what's getting impacted in a big way today. I mean, the challenge that we face, I mean, however good product we may make, right? if it is not deployed properly, if not installed properly, not connected, even a small XLR connector is not wired properly or soldered properly, the whole kind of science behind having a good sound goes for a toss, right? I think, so maybe from the growth on the revenue standpoint, still smarter sales guys, who you can find thousands on this floor, right, can still sell, but eventually, are you going to have a very happy repeat customer? I think that's the challenge we are facing nowadays. I mean, the quality of work has unfortunately deteriorated over the period of time. I mean, today, I mean, if you want to hire somebody, what are we looking at? Is the guy understanding the network? Because we're not hiring AV guys, right? We're hiring somebody who understands the network properly, who's an IT engineer, we're trying to force him to get into an AV field. We're not hiring audio engineers, somebody who understands how a good audio will sound, let's say. Or whether there's a delay in the video, or what's the, I mean, how many people would even know that how to kind of solder a RS-232 or a VGA connector today? Everybody wants an HDMI molded cable. The fundamental basics itself from the market has gone away. I think people who are old timers like us, I think our fundamental basics are probably stronger. And I think that's where we should also keep that intact in terms of knowledge imparting. Otherwise, I think it will be more of the quality deterioration rather than the top line. Sales guys can sell anything. They'll figure it out.
Absolutely. You know, one remark for the sales guys are always that, you know, sales will do anything to get a sale, but then eventually the burden comes on the people who are installing it. And all the dreams cannot come true. So that's where is the challenge. So, you know, connected to this, Rhythm earlier said that in his projects, you know, bottom line talent is easier to find from the parallel industries. But what Ashish mentioned, one point is that quality of work. Does that impact your Rhythm? Like, you know, when you hire somebody from a CCTV or a security or a, you know, and connected industry, but he may not be an AV guy. Like, you know, you would understand, I would understand, everybody here understand that when we used to solder that, you know, VGA connector, how many pins and what pins were supposed to be soldered? Very few people know, and there were very few people who could actually do a VGA soldering, a 15-pin D-sub connector, which we used to call. So, you know, having that basics, which are very strong from an AV guy, and, you know, giving this out to a person who's coming from a parallel industry, will this affect your quality of workmanship?
Okay. So two things. One is that fortunately we don't have to solder as much nowadays. Everything is pretty much molded. And let's say if we have to, in all honesty, if I say somebody who doesn't know it or is doing it for the first time, somebody who just knows soldering will do a better job than an AV guy, because he will read the instruction and do it. AV guys are all ustads. They'll be like, "Theek hai, color wala idhar udhar." They'll just do something. So even if we have to get it done, like XLRs are to be soldered and everything, it's not that big a problem. And it's always that when we use manpower from other industries and everything, there'll always be one good AV guy who'll just be responsible for the AV part of things. And we will not use him for lifting, we will not use him for everything else. So, you know, he can spend time. It could be a shared resource between one or two sites also. But then mostly, it's not that big a problem. Phones are good. We have a large YouTube, not exactly YouTube, but a large library on our portal where we have all these videos. It's very easy. I mean, not that big a problem now, honestly.
Yeah, please.
You are asking about the damage when we, like, you know, if we don't have professionals or we don't have proper AV guys in the industry, what damage we can cause. So, as an industry, what I see, like, you know, it is not that like India or corporates or governments are not spending on AV huge amounts. But if you don't have proper professional AV or people from AV background who understand the design, who understand what technology should go in, there is a major question mark, like, you know, designers not properly designing the systems. Compare the level of installations or technology we have in India versus Dubai or Singapore. I have done few designs for Singapore, I have done few designs for Dubai, or maybe, like, you know, I did some project for foreign clients in India. So the level of quality of designs, the quality of installations, the quality of the technology that we deploy, huge difference what we do. It is all sales oriented, number oriented things. And the damage what we do, like, you know, I have one, my banking client, like, you know, he today LED is like, you know, active LED is going everywhere, in boardrooms, in meeting room, cafeteria, large size displays, anything above 100 is going for LED. And slowly the projections are going, phasing out. But the client is knowing everything, all benefit about the LED. He's having the budgets, but he's refusing to buy any LED in his boardroom. Why? Because somebody sold him high pixel LEDs, and their chairperson coming to see the site, and he's seeing all the pixelite image standing at 2 meter distance, and he's seeing P10. And then he said, like, I am never going to use this technology. Why this damage? My budget is there, client is ready to spend, but somebody has sold him wrong technology because he doesn't know the basics.
That blame goes to the salesperson, ना कि भाई sales वाले ने गलत बेचा, customer ने सस्ता समझ के खरीद लिया, and the end result was debacle.
Same goes with many other technologies.
Absolutely.
People refuse to use it.
Yeah, so as rightly put by Abdul and Rhythm, again moving on to what Rhythm said, you try to have good bit of AV guys on top who will control the bottom line people who may not be from AV. That's a wonderful strategy for sure, that you keep your costs low and go ahead and do your installs with that precision and accuracy. So moving on to Nirdosh, even you don couple of hats together as a distributor also, and doing some very, very high-end projects which you have done, landmark projects. So as a company, as high-tech, what are the steps which you take to retain the manpower? Like, definitely we have seen the turnarounds that every year before the March-April scenario, Jan-Feb is the time where you will feel that people are changing. So how do you retain your people, and what are the steps which you are taking to train and retain them?
I think probably to answer this question, what I feel as high-tech, if you talk, then probably one of our key few projects what we started off, because we have always been doing flagship projects. We started off with Commonwealth Games stadiums. We did one of the kind of biggest project in India, which is called Kingdom of Dreams in Gurgaon, which is long back in 2010, where probably audio, video and lights, everything was all synced together. And it was the biggest challenge, because getting on to the manpower of that skill set and retaining them has always been a challenge. The only solution, what I look at it, is that you have to keep on investing into your manpower. You need to give them adequate training all the time. You need to send them for international training courses. Because now the technology is also going on to a different level, wherein everything is all going on global. And to answer your question, I think probably to retain manpower, this is one of the biggest challenge as far as India is concerned. Because
apart from giving higher salaries, what is the step you take?
That is what, the higher salaries is not a solution, because everybody in his or her career, apart from earning money, they definitely want to uplift their technical skill set also, and they wanted to go to the next level. So you need to create that kind of environment for them, so that they should feel that they are always a part of your company. Being a distributor, our job is that definitely we want the brands what we are distributing needs to excel in the right manner by setting up standards. And for that, you need manpower to engage them on long-term basis. You need to create that kind of relationship also with them, so that at some point of time, it is not only money. People want appreciation. People want acknowledgement. They need to be praised for what they are doing. So I think that is the human touch. I always say the human touch is very important, because the moment you will only say business, money, nobody is going to stay longer with you. You need to have that touch wherein people should be
so that
comfortable
means that,
working with you.
yes, we should say that people should start looking out for jobs with high-tech, huh?
Absolutely. High-tech has
Company
always
with a human touch.
High-tech
And
has always
apart
been...
from money, you will get a lot of other things.
Absolutely. Why not? Why not? Why not?
Ashish, some clue from it, huh? Harman has to take some clue from it, huh? Human touch, आपका.
I mean, next is Nirdosh will show a list of hiring who he wants to hire.
So Ashish, to you, similar question again, that what steps as an OEM do you take to retain people? Whatever points Nirdosh has mentioned is absolutely correct, where today's generation is not only looking at money, they are looking at overall environment, overall culture of the organization. What else apart from money can the organization give it to them?
Only if everybody was looking everything beyond money. Also is a very important point. But I think, see, what Nirdosh said is absolutely right. Investing into people is very important. I mean, people start feeling saturated when they're doing same job, which is less appreciative or kind of becomes redundant in terms of the appreciation. Everybody has its own way to look at what excites me to stay in a company, whether it is an OEM or a distributor or an integrator or a consultant. I think the motivation for anybody to work for an organization has many reasons. Money is important, no doubt. I think that's relevant for any industry, not only for AV. From AV standpoint, I think for us, we have a lot of opportunity to give opportunity to train, make them relevant. The training, the requirements in the AV industry are changing or evolving, I would say. Actually, now it is evolving a lot. A lot of people who were only audio are getting to the video side of the business. The AV people are kind of, you can say, stepping up into understanding IT domain. So knowledge transfer, education, global trainings could be also excites, global trip excites people, that's true. But I think all that is relevant. Appreciation and respect is very important. Sometimes, I told you, right, I interviewed 3 people today.
So
Nirdosh
has jobs and now Ashish also has jobs for you. Huh? So people who are listening, feel free to apply to High-Tech and Harman.
Follow me on LinkedIn. I just posted three openings.
So I'll forward your post. Huh? So that will reach some few followers which I have. So Sanjay ji, one interesting question which you were mentioning, जादू की झप्पी चाहिए होती है लोगों को. तो मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि या तो एक बोलते हैं ना, एक फ्रीक्वेंट इंटरवल के बाद सबको ये बोलना चाहिए ऑल इज़ वेल, ऑल इज़ वेल, ऑल इज़ वेल. तो या तो आप जादू की झप्पी ऐसी दे दो कि मतलब वो साल भर निकल जाए उस झप्पी के साथ, या तो आप हमेशा उनको ये समझाते रहो भाई ऑल इज़ वेल, देयर इज़ नथिंग गोइंग रॉन्ग. So, what are the steps which you are taking, Sanjay ji, on this? Like, आप कैसे retain करते हो? There is something different which you take it as a business leader in your organization and feel कि हाँ ये steps था जिसकी वजह से I could retain so many people. Like today we have seen organizations being proud that okay, we have staff which are more than 5 years old. They always boast that okay, I have people who are more than 10 years old. I have seen in tenders, at times they write down a PQ where you should say कि अरे आपका 50% staff जो है more than 10 years old होना चाहिए. That is, I don't know how it is connected, but maybe it's kind of an reliability which an organization possess. कि मैं भी surprised था, मैंने 1-2 टेंडर का प्री क्वालिफिकेशन, तो we are not into tenders zone per se. But yes, I had read that and I was pleasantly surprised कि चलो ऐसा भी कुछ है कि where people feel कि यार इनके organization में 10 साल से ज़्यादा अगर लोग हैं तो there is a most preferred organization to work for. तो सर आपका क्या take है इस पे? What do you feel? What steps are you taking to be that preferred organization to work?
So a couple of things, Mustafa. So if you ask me personally, somebody putting that okay, you should have maybe more than 50% of lethargic people in your organization. To me, quality of an organization doesn't depend on how many people you have. If you ask me, since I, shifted from working for MNCs to kind of, which I feel today proud that providing employment to a lot of people where we feel that a lot of families are dependent on you. Because you have to first ensure that, their salaries are paid, that they are well taken care, then you come next. So for me, if you ask, I feel that we have seen many of our team members within this short period of 13 years that our organization has been there. A lot of them have started their own business and very successful business. Some of them have grown even bigger than us. And it actually gives me, personally, if you ask me, it gives me a kind of proud parental feel that, okay, whatever small value we have added to their careers, that has helped them grow to that level where they have either gone to bigger brands at much higher position or have started their own businesses, and they in turn are again contributing to the economy and growth of the business. So to me, it's, somebody staying with 10, 20, 15 years doesn't necessarily means that you are a very high quality organization. Because with the amount of opportunities we have in AV industry, actually if somebody is staying with a medium level organization like ours for 15, 20 years may not be a great guy. Then your second question, that how do we ensure that we can retain people for a longer time? Couple of things. Of course, money, you have to give a decent amount of money. There ain't any, denial about that. But yes, you have to create a ambience in the office where people feel comfortable, where people feel proud to be coming to that place every day. There has to be proper respect for your team member. So that respect, a lot of organizations, they probably don't, think a lot about that. Respect to your team member is as important as the amount of money you are paying them. So proper respect, decent money, and a connect that you have to give them an environment. There is an opportunity for them to learn, maybe bit by bit, but there is an opportunity for them to grow as a professional. Every month, every day, every year, they are able to grow. And they have to see that value that, okay, if we are coming here, a year back I was at this stage, today I am a much better professional in whatever way, whether you're in the technical field, whether you are in the installation, or whether you are. Today, if I look at my team, we had an office boy when we started the company, we hired him. Today, he is a major part of our install team. So, there's a growth path. People have grown with that, they have learned. So it's always a mix of that. There ain't no single fixed formula that, okay, we do this. There ain't any single magic that, okay, we do this and we have the people who are going to stay with us.
Absolutely right, Sanjay ji. What the pointers are, again, if you have to take, one common point is that the retention takes, quite a toll on an organization. And the best part is that if you give an holistical environment to your team, better chances of people remaining with you for a long time. Coming back to an understanding that जितना कोई ज़्यादा रहता है शायद वो unproductive हो जाएगा, maybe two sides of the same coin. But agar, when we come to a situation where you feel that, okay, a person is being there for the organization for more than 2 years, 3 years, as a business owner, as a business leader, if you don't see that value in that person, you will definitely, give him that pink slip and say, boss, you are done with. Why do you, take that person from 1 year, 2 years, 3 years to 10 years also? So either you have somebody who is very productive and you know that, okay, he is an asset and he has to be there for us, and you keep retaining that person, and that becomes, a history, or else you just leave him. So absolutely, pointers are, again, we feel that yes, organizations try to give everything to the people, but are the staff thankful enough to the organizations at times? Maybe, maybe not. Abdul, question connected to this. You have been hiring so many people. You have a big team now. How do you recruit and how do you retain?
Actually, it is very important question to retain people. What I have realized in the interview, like as all of us has agreed, salary is not the only component that people look for. They demand during the interview, like, you know, yes, they need X number, but you just be mindful of that. Like, you know, once they get the salary, a month passes and he gets that salary, the value becomes zero. Now his goals and his criteria is different now. It is the environment, it is the growth that he looks for, the respect he should get in the organization. All those things matters. There is also a gap between how we look at the situation, the world, and how the Gen Z look at the things. For us, like, you know, maybe we are more responsible. That's why we don't get good people also, because good, best, better, these all subjective criteria is as per how I see the world, what is my criteria. For them, it is different. Okay, maybe we feel like, you know, we are giving him handsome salary, 5-digit, 6-digit salary, and he's still not happy. But that may or may not be his or her criteria. So we have to look at that. Like, you know, the generation which is coming next is, they are very much concerned about work-life balance. They want to see their growth. They want to see, like, you know, they want to enjoy the life. They don't want to work like, you know, 12, 15, 18 hours, like what we do and what we prefer. But they may have a different criteria. So we have to understand their psychology, what they want. So every individual can be different. So maybe, like, you know, along with a boss or a director of a company, you sometimes have to become a mentor. You have to understand, you have to show them their growth path. You have to guide them, understand what they want. So I think these kind of session, mental health session, psychological session, counseling session, now needs to be part of our organization's day-to-day activities also. So that is one thing, like, you know, helps you a lot in retaining people along with the salary.
You know, the outcome when we see about this is that, you know, there are certain questions which cannot be answered. Now, when we say, when we hire freshers, what are they looking for? Money, work-life balance, the environment in which they are going to work, and growth for next 5 years. That is a short-term target which every student comes out. Because उनको सिखाया ही ये जाता है कॉलेज के एंड में, प्लेसमेंट सेल में, कि ओके, योर टारगेट शुड बी नेक्स्ट 5 years what you are going to achieve. So you have to ask this salary from the company, you have to perform this. This is all dotted lines. Where we don't work on the dotted lines, we see holistically, we take responsibility. The newer generation may not do that. So there is a question that what is a capability? Question mark. We cannot define. A person who is supposed to be a programmer may have different definitions. He may say, okay, I am a programmer, but according to me, what an IT programmer does, he works from home 6 days a week and he gets his salary every month. First को उसको salary credit होती है and done. I will only work like this. AV में programmer का definition will be different. He may have to go to the site. At times, that is a requirement. That programmer may feel that, okay, this is not my KRA. So yeah, question, how, what is, you know, the capability and how much is too much? I think, you know, there are multiple sessions which may need to have on this discussion, but since we are running short of time and coming to an end of this discussion, I will put one question common to all, and I would like them to answer in whatever you know, order they may wish to. You know, we being there as you know, people from the AV industry, we have been there for you know, quite a few years. Everybody has some or the other responsibility towards getting talent in the industry, making it more fruitful, more lucrative, being seen as a career option. 2 points from each of our esteemed panelists as to what are those 2 points they feel that that can make this industry more you know, likable, more lovable, more you know, a place to work for kind of attraction. So starting from Abdul.
I think awareness is one topic which we have to work with, like, especially we have to work with the universities, colleges, or whatever capacity connects we have. We have to show like how our industry, and we've been in the some of the association organization, we can form an association also to address this talent crunch, wherein with that, from that association, we may conduct some neutral, unbiased training sessions, maybe 6 months course or a year course or diploma or something with limited resources. Of course, we can do some short-term courses, but for a long-term thing, we have to whatever connects we have to approach universities, colleges, and add on this subject. Why I'm saying this looks little impractical, but I know some people are already doing it. We have to go and help them on this front. And secondly, we have to bring this as a career option. That is the only point I see, like, the lack of awareness is there in the about our industry.
So when we talk about the pointers which you discussed, so there are 2 points. One is awareness, the next is education, right? So yeah, we take 2 points from you. Maybe we will try and see if we can keep continuing this online, and if we can create a group of all our panelists over a LinkedIn, and maybe people can put in questions and we may give them certain answers and certain help. Sanjay ji, your 2 points on this.
Just a single point, maybe we have to, let's make it a more interesting thing. Why not we ourselves, we try and explore, let's say, how to use AI in system design, or how to use AI in ensuring more innovative, scalable solution in the AV industry itself. We are all maybe, afraid of AI and we are running away from it. Why not embrace it? And start using it, maybe start using it as a good training tool also. So that could be one of the areas. We haven't explored it. I haven't explored it personally. Could be one of the areas to check.
Absolutely, technology upgradation, which we call it. So we have, 3 points now, Rhythm.
I think first thing, we should stop running behind low-class talent. When we start looking out for AV people as such, the first thing which comes to everybody's mind is, how do I get more technicians and engineers who are there at the ground level? We never talk about getting top talent. Like whenever we say we want to start a course, we always want to start a course in Polytechnic. We never want to do this awareness in IITs and IIMs because we ourselves are not that confident that we will be able to handle that kind of talent. So, first things first, AV industry should think big. We are a big industry. Second thing, this whole AV word has to be broken down into 10 or 12 different subjects which can be taught to people. AV is also Palm Expo, AV is also Infocom, AV is also Smart Home Expo. There's like 12 types of AV which is there. So if somebody has to actually start a course, what in AV will you teach? People are in the industry from 10, 15 years. They also know only one field. What would you squeeze in for a person in 3 years? So, and AV also needs all type of talent. We also need HR talent. We need training talent. We need marketing talent. So, awareness, yes, but then breaking down AV into more parts, making it simpler for people to understand, and then approaching and poaching talent from all around. I think the college route is too long, this thing, but there are people in the market who are actually very underpaid compared to what this industry pays. Look at hospitality, look at so many other places. People are living at 15, 20, 25,000 and, we start hiring at 40, 50 in the industry. So we don't really need to go and get somebody fresh from a college where where we teach him first how to do a job and then teach him what to do in the job. So, we as an industry can afford ready-made, pre-made talent and be quick.
Wonderfully put across by Rhythm. So a point what I got from his understanding is that let us focus on mid and senior or mid-senior people who could run the show with, people down the line can be from any vertical. And yes, one socio-economic responsibility which will come into picture, as he rightly mentioned, that yes, making this as a career-oriented industry where we want to attract freshers, on the technical lines where they become the mid and mid-senior people. But down the line, yes, we should think as an alternate where people who are underpaid, let them pay more, and they will be more than happy to do work if we give them good salaries, and work-wise we give them a wonderful culture. So kind of exploitation or maybe the kind of hardships they may be doing in their current jobs, that may not be necessarily with AV. We may give them a proper structured, disciplined approach. So wonderfully put across, Rhythm. Let us take this as, focus on the mid-senior people. Ashish bhai.
So I think mid-senior people is important. I think, but I mentioned all of us as in the industry for a longer period, what I said in the beginning, have the responsibility to also ensure that we are bringing the relevance to the AV market. I mean, training people or not training people in a view that we may lose to somebody cannot work in that direction, right? I mean, there are people who are very open to hire a lot of freshers and train and then on board and grow their careers. Some are not. Some are really willing that, okay, let's hire only the professionals and not really bother about it. I think it's a mixed bag of thoughts and people, but I think it makes it's a responsibility for us. I mean, like, for example, if we do, let's say, 40 sessions today in a year about training on audio basics or video basics, as an OEM, we can own up a responsibility that let's do 60, let's do 80, let's do more trainings and more sessions, right?
Absolutely.
So we can educate more and we can spread that knowledge more, and hopefully people who are maybe mid-experience need more knowledge. People who are freshers need more knowledge. That whole action can be kind of activated. So I think that is one responsibility that we all can own up. As OEMs, we should do it more. I understand as business owners, as integrators, I think the operational excellence or turnaround is expected faster, which is understandable. But that's not what OEM only drives for. So I think we do it today, we can do it more. That could be one thing. Another thing is that how we can really find that how this industry can be seen as a passionate, you can say, professional to be kind of taken up. I mean, today really what everybody thinks about AV is about that I will be an installer, I will be a solder guy, I will be somebody going on a truss mounting a speaker. The fun part in the AV is lost, and which is there. People who are in AV love the fun part of AV. I think that piece is lost. I think we should bring those things back. Go to HARMAN Live, I mean, you'll have the fun part. That's the AV fun part, right? Who does want to miss it? And I want to watch that. After this, I'm running there to watch my next show.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
I think that fun part needs to be brought back in the industry, because I think AV is about fun at some point, in some relevance. I think that piece is important for us to kind of.
No, absolutely. Any employee when he joins a company will definitely look out for those kind of patches where he has that comfort zones. He has that fun without me, asking for it. If you have a culture which gives, fun, work, responsibility, holidays and incentives and whatever it may be, it's not only the money, but the overall factor which counts as cost to the company. If you give that well, I am sure nobody would leave that work.
For me, initial days, the reason I wanted to be in the AV industry because I could listen to music on my desk and nobody could stop. Right? And I could say I'm testing speakers.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
see, you have to find ways of enjoying your job, right? Otherwise, you can always keep changing every 2 years and do whatever you want.
Absolutely, so you have the liberty to use the best of the audio equipments, the best of the headphones come to you without any cost. And I'll give you an example. I interacted with Sony TV years back, I don't know, about 15 years back in Bombay, and I was interacting with a media channel for the first time. And when I went there, and every desk I saw a bunch of DVDs of super hit movies, Sony pictures, so all the international classics and everything. And I was like so jealous कि दो screens हैं, एक screen पे movie चल रही है और एक screen पे वो काम कर रहा है. मतलब यार ऐसा culture, why can't we get it? So when I did that project for them, and I asked them, okay, what do you do? So, बोलता है, we are being paid to watch movies. So that's what, Ashish said, कि, when you get paid to do what is your passion, then it's double. So, Nirdosh ji, 2 points, very important concluding points from your side.
I think probably all the great guys on the panel have already enlisted all the points. But personally, I feel that world definitely is moving towards technology, and this is the only field which is going to grow. So when you talk about young children, or probably the guys who are getting out of school, in their career, if you'll ask 100 young children, they are going to say, somebody is going to say that I want to become a doctor, somebody will say that I want to become an engineer or a CA or a CS. But normally I have never seen that somebody has mentioned that I want to become an AV expert. So I think we need to create some kind of a structure wherein young children aspires to get onto this track. And I think everybody always feels that, they always look at what people in this industry has achieved. If we are going to set up some kind of references, because in our industry, some of the people have done great jobs. If you talk about technology, if you talk about projects, what we see, you talk about mapping. I think down the line, 10 years ago, nobody used to know anything about mapping, and now everywhere we talk about video mapping. In fact, our Prime Minister is also like encouraging all the projects. Recently, he was talking and he started some kind of a wave summit to encourage our industry. So I think we need to show some kind of great achievements, what an AV expert achieves during his life, during his career. Otherwise, people normally they used to enjoy this technology, but they don't want to be a part of this technology. We need to make sure that they should try to become a part of this technology. Once, if we are successful in achieving that, then I think at some point of time we are going to leave this talent crunch behind, because that's it. I think.
This question will still remain. Again, if we meet after 1 year, we will have the same similar kind of problems from each one of us, and we will have some solutions for it too. See, I'm taking this opportunity and permission from all of you. See, this is a very, very crucial topic, and this will remain. This will remain in discussion with all the levels of people, all the level of organization. So if all of you as panel members allow us, I would personally like to take this group and create, a kind of a forum online for this particular discussion, and let the industry guys give us these questions, their problems, all the levels of AV guys from the industry, and we have all the levels of people over here, and we may get a lot of responses, and we may give them solutions to their problems. So if you all allow us, I would be more than happy to initiate this forum online and let people come to us with their questions or queries or problems, and we can answer them and give them some suggestions.
Why not?
A little bit of a social responsibility where we can do for the industry. And definitely you may get good talent, because I have seen from my LinkedIn group, which I run, which is called as Audiovisual Industry in India. As of now, I don't know how many, but close to about 3,000 members. And I get personal, messages from so many people on all the levels, not only entry level, as Vedam was mentioning, from the parallel industries, but from the AV, mid, senior, that they are looking out for opportunities, but they cannot voice out. So they put a personal message to me saying that, Mustafa, if you have something, let us know, because I have job requirements coming in from lot of connected people, like if Sanjay would have something, he'll say, "Arey Mustafa, ek requirement bhej raha hu yaar, dekh koi hoga to." So like we know people from the industry, and like I was talking to Akhil that day, and I asked him, I said, "Arey yaar, we are always short of people." So this kind of requirement, when it comes to us online, what I do is I try my best to patch in people without naming anybody, and I come out of it, I just patch them, I give my reference if I know that person, and come out of it. So if this forum gets created, I'm sure there will be a lot of prayers for each one of us. So if everybody is okay with it, I would take this and create a forum, and I would also, like Hive and Informa to be a part of this, like how, parallel people, they do some kind of councils and all this stuff. So maybe we can take this as a initiation and do it. So yeah, we come to an end. We completed our 1 hour, 3 minutes more. I'm sorry, audiences. And thank you so much, each one of you. I am glad that I had such wonderful panel. And whenever, they asked me to nominate, ke bhai, aapka panel members aap nominate kijiye, and I was like, not sure that if I nominate people, whether they will say yes or no. So I am thankful to each one of you so accepting this invite and being here and having this wonderful discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hive, for this opportunity.
Thank you.